So we're here with Wally Namane, Chief Product Officer, co-founder of WheelPrice, kind of talking about the business plan, the vision, and seeding some conversations toward the Shaping CT's future entrepreneurial kind of pitch competition that we're going to have finalists pitching live on August 20th. Mm-hmm. So, Wally, how'd you get in the wheel game?
Oh, yeah. Great question. I actually met my co-founder, Kyle Mayers, probably 20 years ago. We were both driving identical BMW E30s. This is like kind of that 80s era BMW. Both red, to the point where people thought we were the same person. We look nothing alike. And it's funny, it was really rooted in the community. He had reached out to me and said, hey, saw you drive the same car. I had some questions, like I wanted to put some suspension on it, and we just hit it off there. He went into the technology industry, and so did I. We stayed great friends, went to car shows throughout the years. The actual idea was born in college, actually. We went to a car show, Bimmerfest, out in Maryland. One time we were driving back, and we were like, man, it's so painful to buy and sell parts. At the time, forums were really big. Mm-hmm. And so you couldn't filter, you couldn't figure out what you wanted to actually look for. You had to just kind of manually click through everything and then click out of it. Facebook Marketplace wasn't a thing yet. Mm-hmm. And so we did nothing with the idea. The idea was born. We both kind of went our separate ways, started working in corporate. And then one day I should say, I called him up, just checking in, how you doing? It's like, hey, remember that idea we had? It doesn't look like anyone has tried or attempted to do this. Do you want to try it? Now we actually know a little bit about technology and try to do it. We're still car guys. And so literally I'm on the phone with him. We're checking out the domains. He's like, whoa, WheelPrice is available. Let's go. And so that was kind of the origin story there. And then we have a third leg to the team, which is Kirk Vanderhayden. He's our Chief Marketing Officer, AKA our secret weapon. He's incredible. He's worked at a ton of different automotive companies. He's done stuff for NASCAR. He's done stuff for Formula Drift and also RTR, which is kind of like a modification performance company that focuses on Ford vehicles. Yeah, he's amazing. We actually...
Where'd you find him?
Just a great friend. I actually met him through Kyle. He also went to UConn. We all went to University of Connecticut. I went to the Storrs campus. They both went to Stanford, but just kind of the passion for cars. The first time I met him, Kyle at the time was living in North Carolina. He's still there. Kirk and myself were in Connecticut. Kyle's like, hey, you guys should come to this show in Maryland. It's about 6 hours away. I don't know Kirk at all. I'm like, all right, we're going to go on this ride together. First time meeting you for 6 hours, just hit it off. And it's just so funny. That's kind of one of the reasons why I love automotive. It just feels like it transcends everything, whether it's, a race, economic status, just for this love or passion for cars.
Common bond.
Yeah. It's really funny. But yeah, he's been incredible for helping us drive our social. That's actually been our sales strategy. We use it as a funnel. We have a pretty highly active audience, and I was kind of poking around your guys' website, and you guys know a lot about social, it seems like, and timing is everything, and trying to be relevant. Like what worked last year is not working this year. We're still seeing that. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, he's just really good, really witty, and we have about 200,000 followers across all of our social streams, which is cool. And we're just going to try to continue to build on that.
Right on. So what is, tell us a little bit more about the actual business. What are you selling?
Absolutely. So WheelPrice, it's a two-sided marketplace for car enthusiasts to buy and sell secondhand automotive parts. We're hyper-focused on wheels because it's typically the first customization or modification people want to make to a car, whether it's aesthetic, like you were saying, you want 21s, or performance-oriented. You look at the guys on the track, they want the lightest wheels possible, the widest setup possible to get the most amount of tire to get traction. And it's very repeatable because people kind of get tired of the same look, and so they want to sell it And that's what's interesting about this marketplace is sellers become buyers, buyers become sellers. So the lifetime value of the customer is kind of exponential.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then you can multiply it by, sometimes people have multiple cars. They'll have their track car, but then they have their daily car, they have their weekend car. And so we wanted to focus there. I saw that goat sticker. I'll talk about that in a second. Is that yours?
Yeah.
So wheels, I should say, pretty similar to sneakers. So you find people that are really obsessed with collecting sneakers and the collectability of them, and even just the sourcing of them. It's like a conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
The same parallels exist in automotive.
Really?
It's like, yeah, we were just looking at a set of Nismo GT, make sure I get this right, GT2 wheels made by a company called Ray's Engineering. They're still around today, but they manufacture everything in-house in Japan. Really high quality stuff.
How much that costs?
So they're no longer in production.
Are they for the Godzilla or the Skyline?
Yeah, yes, exactly. They were
Godzilla?
They were made on
The American version of the Skyline is like nicknamed the Godzilla, but it's the GTR.
exactly. So the R34 GTR is the one that everyone knows. Like Paul Walker had it in Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Too Fast, Too Furious. No longer in production, super lightweight, and it was Nissan's introduction into Le Mans, which was endurance racing.
Mm-hmm.
And so those wheels were period correct in probably 95, 96. And so we had a set just get listed for 15,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do people ever like, if they want to just like collect as a collector,
Absolutely.
do they just want to like buy one, or do they have to have the set?
I think it depends on the person. I see most people try to buy the set
Yeah.
because then they can get their money out
Right,
really quickly. When there's only one, typically people will make it as a display piece or a table.
If they want to just be a dick and like,
Yes, splitting it up.
That's with world demand. Just like keep buying one.
No, seriously, right? Seriously, it's a good strategy. But that's one of the reasons why we exist, because we realized, well, Facebook Marketplace is the primary place people have kind of migrated to from forums. Forums are dead. Just kind of older generation. I don't even know how active they still are. I see listings from years ago now. But if you're going to go and transact $8,000, $10,000, one, bringing cash to a deal is pretty spooky. The person knows you have $8,000 or $10,000. You know they have the inventory, and kind of creates a weird or risky scenario. So for us, one of the value props that we preach is like, hey, you can be cashless. So you can go transact digitally. Even if you want to meet up in person, you can still be cashless going through the platform. And something that we also introduced is the WheelPrice protection plan. And so you have basically 3 days once you receive the item. So let's say if you get them shipped, to make sure and say, hey, this is as described, or this is what I was anticipating. So we actually hold the money in escrow for that period of time. Once the buyer says everything's all good, we release the funds. That particular process that I just described, it's probably going to change over time. As some people are like, hey, if I'm shipping $10,000 wheels, I need my money now.
Right.
So you have to figure out that balance. And that's what's the challenge with marketplace. It's like you have to satisfy both sides, and it depends on what drives your marketplace. For us, I want to say the supply side. The supply is not commoditized. It's very differentiated. Like I just mentioned, the LMGTs, you can't just walk into the Nissan dealership and say, this is, I want these wheels. Even if money was no option, you still have to wait for them to pop up. And so our thesis was, let's get the best supply possible that will attract the buyers. Even from an SEO standpoint, every time we get a new listing that's created, you have that name in the URL, and people organically will find us.
Are you seeing more early adoption from individual car owners or enthusiasts, or sort of shops, aftermarket shops, and things like that?
It's primarily individuals. We've kind of broken it down into different personas. Similar to the sneaker game, you have wheel resellers, people that will buy wheels and then sell them from arbitrage. The historical stuff is the stuff that I geek out about that you can't find anymore. what's really interesting about this marketplace is a lot of the unique or rare inventory is overseas. And so we'll have sellers from, trying to think, Thailand, Ukraine, Russia. Just there's some challenges, obviously, with everything that's happening right now, too, trying to get those people onboarded and to be able to ship to the United States. Most of the demand is coming from the U.S.
Are there other, like within the U.S. or regionally, like competitors who, like, are you the first kind of like mover here in this space, or like are there competitors that you're keeping your eye on who do a similar same thing?
Yeah, it's like David versus Goliath. eBay, definitely a competitor.
Well, yeah.
Their marketplace. And we've recently seen like a huge kind of injection of money, because every time we open up social media, like there's some eBay kind of motorsports or eBay Motors initiative or marketing plan.
Right.
It's actually their biggest category. So eBay Motors.
Interesting.
Outside of cars, parts. So our vision right now is hyper-focused on wheels because it can interchange across different chassis. Like I mentioned, people want to upgrade those first, plus the average order value. That represents about a $5 billion annual market just in the secondhand. And when you tell this to car people, or I'm sorry, to non-car people, like wheels, like there's no way. If you open up Facebook Marketplace today, any given zip code, you'll probably find 500,000 wheels kind of chaotically listed. And it's not just aftermarket wheels. There's also a huge demand for OEM wheels. So like the wheels that you want to get off your Defender, some people really like those, and they'll put them on different like model years. So there's this whole interchangeability thing, which also creates another opportunity for us. But yeah, $5 billion for secondhand market annually. And then the long-term play is to get into other product categories. So
what's the next one, do you think?
Maybe steering wheels. It's like easy to ship. They kind of have this nostalgia factor. People like to upgrade them. There's a performance piece, kind of plays nicely with WheelPrice.
Yeah. You don't have to buy 4 of them at a time.
Yeah, exactly. But I think once we introduce other product categories, we can kind of scale up relatively quickly.
Yeah.
There's seats, electronics. Electronics used to be, it's audio equipment used to be really big back in the day, but I think there's still some demand there. Right. Suspension. There's a ton of stuff. I mean, that represents a $100 billion opportunity, but we want to be able to get every edge case addressed with wheels first before we kind of expand out into there.
So how did it all get started? Like in terms of like, okay, site's live.
Yes.
Like, let's go.
Yeah. Site's live. We initially used some like no-code, low-code solution just to kind of prove it out initially. And then we moved to something custom that we built from the ground up. But we really focused on building a brand first and really focusing on community. It was a very grassroots approach.
Yeah.
We knew a ton of people in Connecticut. So we have a really good base here, but also down in North Carolina, Charlotte specifically. Kyle and Kirk actually live there now. But we started throwing these car shows. And it was a very different format. So
was this prior to you actually like doing any kind of actual selling? Were you like a content creator and a community builder first, and then you introduced the retail element?
Basically. So we didn't monetize for a long time.
Nice.
And that was by design because we said we need to try to get this.
Well, you need
flywheel
inventory.
You need inventory.
I mean, you need people to join the community.
Critical
to
mass.
sell something, right?
Well, so it's very interesting. Chicken or the egg problem. You need sellers. Sellers won't list if there's no buyers. Buyers won't go there if there's no inventory. And so initially it was very like having a conversation with someone, and that doesn't scale. So we were like, you know what, let's bring them to us. So we started doing these car shows, and we were coming up with a name for it. It was like, what are we going to call it? We're going to call it Car Meet, but spelled M-E-A-T, and it's at a barbecue joint. So it was pretty cool. It kind of blew up pretty quickly. I remember our first meet, we didn't know what to expect. We had some nice cars.
Where was it?
It's in this area called Belmont in Charlotte.
Okay.
At Sweet Lou's Barbecue.
Shout out
Shout out Sweet Lou's. One of the best barbecue I've ever had, actually. And so super nice guy. He was like, hey, you guys could use my lot for your car show. And he hooked us up with a DJ, and people get introduced to his brand. So it was a great mutual benefit. That show has since blown up, and it was a very different format. Typically, you'll go to a show, and it's very curated. So you'll have like exotic cars in one lot. You'll have the sports tuner cars in another lot. I don't like that format. I like it where it's a nice medley.
Mash it all together.
Yeah, it's all meshed together, and that's part of it. I think that's part of our vibe. Like when we talk about culture at WheelPrice, it's like our unofficial, official slogan is something for everyone. Whether you're a tuner, whether you're into overlanding, whether you just like nice cars, you can come there and find something. And we really try to lean into that. We're really community driven. Pretty much everything that we do is super calculated, and it always has to drive back to like, is it improving the community? Is it making the brand stronger?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Your business seems pretty appealing, like from a marketing standpoint, like for brand ambassadors and influencers. Like, do you have those kind of voices like that are out there representing you and attracting that kind of attention?
Yeah, unofficially. So we've definitely had a conversation about creating some like ambassador program. It felt inauthentic. And
why?
Yeah, if people are gonna,
if you're paying for it, you mean?
Yeah. If people are gonna like us, they're gonna really like us, and they're gonna believe in it. And that was a tough decision at the time. Like hindsight, it sounds like it was a great idea, but it was like, oh, are we gonna do this way or that way? So we're like, let's build this brand. Let's build something that people really enjoy. That's something that's relatable, and something also that you kind of want to aspire to be associated with.
Yeah.
And so that's how we carry everything that we do with the brand.
So you do things organically. You built a critical mass of community and attention, and then you're turn the light on to start selling and transacting.
Yeah.
How did those first couple months of like, we're a commercial business,
staring at the back end like
something happening?
Yeah.
Did you refresh?
Very early on. Actually, I'll come back to that in a second. I just want to finish the thought around having people kind of represent your brand.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool moment for us, very special. There was this Porsche 997, so it's like a 05 to 2012 generation, beautiful car, aero kit, driving around Raleigh, and it had a WheelPrice livery on it. So like our logo, the one that I'm wearing, was like on the car. He had this really cool Marlboro wrap on the vehicle. It was like a tribute to some of the early racing cars. But it's like, wow, someone went out their way to kind of make this. And that's for us, that meant so much to us. I mean, we're very cool with him now, and we got a chance to get to know him. But we've seen a few other cars actually do this as well. It's like show cars. And so that was like, okay, we're doing something
Stamp
right.
of approval.
Yeah, we're doing something right. And these cars look good. These cars look really good, even without the logo.
Well, back in the Fast and Furious, Paul Walker days, like that was, I mean, those vinyls or decals on the cars was like that was the aftermarket advertising right there.
And it's so funny because like there's pockets within automotive of how they want to associate with you, right? Like for example, most Porsche guys, like they won't slap a sticker on their car, but they'll have like these little window decals for all these like rallies that they go to. So like we'll do a print of stickers that specifically meet that aesthetic. But the Japanese tuner guys, like they love the decals like on the side of the car, for example. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, going back to how we initially got traction. So trying to get the best supply, like I mentioned, and that was just me growth hacking, like manually. Like I'd find a set of wheels on Marketplace and just be like, hey, should try to list these here. It'd hit. I'd have like a 50% success rate. That's pretty good. It's costing me nothing but my time, and at the time I had a lot of time.
Because they can probably list on multiple platforms and marketplaces.
They could, yeah. I mean, this was probably
so. There's like no risk, right? Or is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's no risk. Just attention, like people have to go and sign up and do this thing. Versus Facebook, that's really where they have an edge. It's because they're already tapped in.
Sure,
right? They can just hit sell. But for people that really wanted to try to sell something that was more expensive, that was probably going to sit, we saw that they were more likely to convert in the initial stages. We also really focused on resellers, repeatable business, and they had this kind of higher level of business acumen. Like they kind of understand you got to like do something to get something. And they also had multiple sets of wheels, which was really good. So like one seller would bring on like 5 to 10 sets. And one of the big challenges that I saw for resellers, specifically in these countries overseas, like you're this seller in Thailand and you're trying to get someone to buy from the US $2,000 wheels, it feels very uncomfortable. Like you're transacting with this person that you don't really know. You can't physically see them, right? You're just going to get them shipped.
Right.
And so reputation was a big thing. And that was one of the things that we really leaned into. Like we would vet these guys, and on social, we would then shout them out. Like, hey, Newing Shop, specifically, the seller that I'm referencing, he listed over 100 sets of wheels after we shouted him out. And we did the math. It was like over like $250,000 worth of wheels listed.
Wow.
So trying to do things like that very early on and leaning into those sellers.
Are the sellers and buyers allowed to rate one another, kind of like an Uber style?
Yeah, after the
system as well?
Yep, exactly. After the transaction is completed, you have the ability to.
That's a nice self-policing mechanism.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of mentioned, like, is the market developed to the point where you have to worry about like counterfeit or imposter, shops? I think that's one of the bigger worries, right? Especially when you start dealing with overseas and having things shipped into the States, people worry about the authenticity.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I feel like wheels may be tougher, maybe easier. I don't know.
It's actually a little tougher, and they're actually called reps. So it's not like a secret. So there's wheels that people will run that are reps. They're kind of frowned upon. They're like lower quality.
What is reps?
Replicas.
Oh,
replicas.
yeah.
So like, for example, BBS, actually, shout out BBS. BBS is like, in my opinion, holy grail of automotive wheels. They're like the Nike or Jordan for wheels. And so if you have a set of BBS, like those are high quality. They're made in Germany. Their motorsports divisions like out of Japan. Formula One is, they supply Formula One with their wheels, as well as they have NASCAR contracts. Yeah. So super big performance oriented wheel, but there's huge reps of them. That's probably like the number one rep. Like if you go on eBay right now and you just put in BBS wheels, and if you see a brand new set of 19-inch wheels for $1,000, those are reps.
Right.
You just read the description, and then they won't say that they're replicas, but people just kind of know in the automotive community. But you bring up a good point. I have seen a handful of manufacturers start to try to sell them off as real, and then in the secondary market, people don't know that they're fake, and then they'll try to resell them, and then someone's like, hey, these are not real.
How do you test for that?
It's the marking. So a lot of these wheels have stamps, and so the stamping is off, the font is off.
Even kind of like fake, like.
They do the same thing with sneakers.
They do it with watches too.
Like,
and watches.
They have these like super fakes now with like rollies.
Yeah, James got our colleague. He got a super fake Patek.
Yeah, there you go.
But he knew it was.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
But it looked pretty damn good.
Exactly. One of the big things with reps is the safety element. It's like these wheels are not manufactured with like a high quality process potentially, especially if you're doing 100 miles an hour on the track.
Right. It's a little different than just like blowing out your sneaker while you're walking through the hallway.
Exactly. So just to answer your question, I mean, we initially just focused on trying to who's going to give us the most amount of supply and the best version of that supply. Yeah. We allow reps on the platform because there's a place for that. For people, you're not going to the track, you're just going from your house to work, and you just want a nice set of wheels that look good. Reps are fine.
Yeah.
It's more for like kind of the hardcore purist, I'll call it. Right?
I'd get reps. I don't care.
It's like, I mean, so are you a sneaker guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, are the Nike Jordan 1s authentic versus the reps? Like,
well, and I go back and forth too, because like I wear mine, you know, so like they're not in a case and I'm not So
which I love, by the way.
And so I don't have reps. I've considered it in like some of the ones that are just astronomical, in price, like, some of the dead dunks and like some of the like the more obscure ones just to wear, like because I'm not gonna drop,
Right.
Yeah.
What are those Ben and Jerry?
The Ben and Jerry ones too.
Those go for a few grand, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah. The
Do you
Red
have
October,
those?
the Red
those?
Octobers, but those are the
Yeezys.
original Yeezys. Yeah. Or
He's got
Crazy.
15, 20 grand.
Right.
Good lord.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, mine are usually mid-priced, and I wear them.
Yeah.
I can't justify just staring at them.
No, I totally agree. And those same trends, and it's really cool because things come in and out of style with wheels specifically. Like right now, what's really hot is BBS E88s. So E88s is the model. They're a magnesium face, which is super lightweight. I mean, they spec them on track cars. It's funny enough, we actually met with the CEO of BBS, and he's like, we never anticipated this. I mean, we can't build them fast enough. They come for their motorsport division. There's still a wheel that you can get new. It's like an 8-month lead time. And so we saw this as a huge opportunity for us because we had about 6 or 7 sets listed on the site.
Yeah.
Slightly used. We had a few new sets, but you could skip the line. And there actually wasn't a huge premium on them. I think they were retailing for $7,500, and we saw some that were selling for around $700 to $7,500.
And what, so that kind of brought, how are you making money off of these deals, whether it's people buying or selling?
Yeah, so we take a 10% take rate
Yeah.
at the time of sale. I think that is probably going to change over time.
Is that market competitive right now?
Yeah, as compared to eBay, I believe their effective rate somewhere around 12 to 13%, but it always changes. It always changes. And what really sucks about this business is the processing fees. So Stripe, which is a payment processor, not a huge fan.
Shout out Stripe.
Yeah, man, it kills you. They take 3%, so immediately we're at 7%, right? And then there's like a multiplier, like they take a percent. So they take the 3%
In excess of.
Then there's like like these are all these like little crazy multipliers where they kind of nickel and dime you. But one of the things that we're going to be focused on this year is more ways to pay. And more ways to get paid. And so we found that as a huge friction point. Believe it or not, Stripe requires you, and this is like US law, it's not Stripe, that they're just enforcing it. First name, last name, date of birth, address, social security number.
Oh, shit, really? Some people don't want to give that out.
I don't want to
Some
know
don't.
that. All right. And so how do you incentivize that? Because basically your payout details, once you make
Why do they need a social?
Well, so money's moving, right? So $5,000 is in your WheelPrice account waiting to be sent to you. So one of the funny things is we've probably all done it. Like if you guys have Venmo, you did that at one point. You probably put in your social at one point. You just don't realize it.
Or if you author your bank account, like that's it. It's there, right? Like
right. So there's some other solutions like Plaid. That's what I think Venmo uses, where you just sign in, single sign on to your bank.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of captures everything. We looked at them, very expensive, not startup friendly.
Everybody's social's already out there. There's been so many data breaches with socials.
Yeah.
It's out there. You've been affected. We all have.
But there's also, I'm sure there's people within. I mean, there's certainly car enthusiasts that don't necessarily have one either.
Yeah.
Right.
What about on like when it's a cash transaction? How do you collect your percentage and then?
We don't, so that you're circumventing the system if you're doing cash.
So you're strictly cashless.
Yeah, you have to go through the platform. So it's something that I think will probably change over time.
Yeah.
Like maybe we just charge a listing fee, maybe it's $10 or $5 to list. You don't want your bank account associated, and that's that. but I think we still want to grow more before we introduce that because we want more supply.
Right.
So why create more friction on the supply side? And the big incentive for going through the platform is that protection
Sure.
program that I mentioned. No one else has that. eBay has notoriously always sided with the buyer when someone says there's an issue across multiple categories. So a lot of, from conversations we have with customers,
They don't want to be sellers. So.
they don't want to be sellers just because they got screwed over, especially $5,000.
Yeah, right.
You're getting screwed over pretty big.
Yeah.
So,
Thought about crypto?
yeah, yeah.
Stockpiles
Yeah.
crypto?
I mean, all of us are car people, so like we are the ones that are evaluating if there's like who's in the right, who's in the wrong, try to be the arbitrage in between,
Mhm.
or I'm sorry, the mediator in between the two parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of your growth, like, so one, how long have you been commercially operating?
2 years, right?
2 years?
Congrats.
No, longer than 2 years for sure.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though.
Well, fix LinkedIn, man.
Yeah, no, definitely longer than 2 years.
LinkedIn says 2 years.
Yeah. So 2020 is really when we started getting really
Yeah.
serious about it, because we were still our full-time jobs and kind of doing this on the side. We went to Techstars. That was an amazing opportunity. So moved down to Atlanta. And for me, that's really where this thing took off, and being super serious about the business and really trying as many different things as we can. And we had a lot of access to a lot of different mentors, which I'm very grateful for. That particular cohort for Techstars Atlanta 23 was sponsored by Cox Enterprise. And in their portfolio, they have Cox Automotive, which owns Autotrader.com.
Mhm.
It's a big marketplace.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we got a lot of guidance, kind of what to do, what not to do, what you can do. And so that was an amazing opportunity. And I don't know, for me internally, I kind of have like where it really started. But yeah, officially, I'd say like 2020.
And then have you, like, in terms of like growth going forward, like, are you going to continue to try and, stay true to the organic kind of ethos, or are you looking to take outside investment? Like, how are you planning to scale?
Great question. I think we're not against taking outside investment. It has to be with the right partner, I think, or the right investor, I should say, because we're looking at them as a partner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of FJ Labs, if you guys are listening, and NFX. They focus on marketplaces, so they understand all these different levers. What's really interesting is, like, especially in this world of AI, where a lot of things just became undefensible because now you can just vibe code your way there and copy it. Marketplaces have this defensible moat, one around the first mover, but also it's really tough. You got to get both sides of the marketplace going, and that's pretty hard in itself to replicate. And so network effects is one of these technical characteristics or traits of marketplaces when they're successful. It's like when one additional person gets added to the network, it creates value for the entire network. And so for the purposes of transactions, hey, I now have a new user, I now have a new potential buyer as a seller, and then same thing as a seller, I have more potential buyers. But now we're trying to create services and tools around those experiences so we can make it more sticky for users. Because one of the things we were like, hey, I love WheelPrice, but let's be real. If you're not looking for wheels, you're not selling wheels, is there really a need to be on the platform? Why do I need the app?
Right.
So we need to start creating more things. And so we started doing more kind of industry news around wheels. Like, hey, the new Travis Scott sneakers just dropped, right? Hey, the new Ray's engineering wheels just dropped. And so there's really no outlet for that. So like, hey, that's an easy, let's own that space. That's easy. And then we just launched, super cool, kind of a pilot, but this WheelPrice index where
I saw that.
We're tracking prices.
Yeah.
And again, things are pretty seasonal based on trends. I mentioned E88s. So if you're selling them, how do you know where to price them at?
Right.
You don't know what the market is.
Right.
And we're not talking about $500. We're talking about $8,000.
Yeah.
So this index captures data from the marketplace and plots them in real time. As soon as the sale happens, it gets plotted on that graph. And so we're tracking certain
They're like
indexes.
day traders out there, you know?
Yeah.
But it gives you like at least to your point, like a starting point or baseline. Because like eBay, the other option is like everyone just lists their shit for $1 million or best offer or whatever
Right.
it is. Right?
Exactly.
It's just like,
And so that brings us to the next point. One of the reasons why we built that, and it's still in the pilot phase, like we only are tracking, I think, 4 or 5 indexes, some of the bigger, more popular wheels, but it helps with liquidity. So how fast does an item actually sell on the marketplace? It helps knowing if it lists, but it's overpriced. We need people to catch deals. We need people to like sell. Like a lot of times guys will just overprice their products and it'll just stay there. And so this is a good data-driven way to show this
Best
is what the market
practices.
is
yeah,
saying.
it's like the
Yeah,
passive. Oh, everything's always for sale if I get the right price.
Exactly.
Right. So
It's like
you
the
have a
housing
bunch of-
market, you know,
Yeah.
they're always looking for comps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Um,
really interesting.
So how many users or how many open accounts do you have? Or you guys, how do you look at it?
Yeah, we look at it a few different ways. So you have kind of silent browsers, people that just don't have an account but they're looking. And based on the journey from what we've seen, once someone sees something that they're interested in, they'll sign up, make an account, and then message a seller. So it's something like, once the account is created, it's like a 70% likelihood of them messaging someone. So they're doing it because they found something they need. But we have about 25,000 registered users.
Okay.
We need to kind of blow that up.
Where are those folks located?
They're scattered, they're distributed, but really kind of the hot pockets around the U.S. So you got the Northeast is super big, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Southeast, which I did not think was going to be that dense for car people, but like Atlanta, Charlotte, Florida, obviously really big. And then you have Texas, and then California is like car mecca. That's where everyone goes to. But we actually had a very strategic approach around how we were going to market and how we were thinking about buying and selling these really big items. That's another challenge. Is they're big, they're bulky. So most people want to just meet up. Shipping is super overwhelming because people don't know how to get accurate quotes and it's very time consuming. We actually built in a tool that connects back to the 3 major carriers, so UPS, FedEx, and then we also have USPS if someone wants to do that. And you get a quote immediately based off of the dimensions that the seller put in at the time of listing.
So you're just making it easier for
We're making it easier.
People ship them to their address, their home address, or do they?
Yeah, they ship them to the home address. And so
Because I love cars, but I'm like the least mechanically inclined car person on the planet.
Because then they'd have to take it to a
I would just be like, can I send it to
Dealership or-
my guy who's going to put them on for me?
yeah,
I suppose you can select the address that you want.
you can select the address. And so I probably should have mentioned a lot of times the wheels will have tires on them. So you can literally just jack up your car, take off the bolts and just kind of mount them on. Depending on if the tread is good. And it's actually a lot of value for people. Like I have a friend right now who needs tires on his, he has an AMG wagon. He's like, I don't want to, spend $2,000 in these like Michelin Pilot Super Sports. Like it's a performance car. He's like, I could buy a new set of wheels that have 90% tire tread.
Yeah.
For $1,800. I get another set of wheels and I get like pretty good tire tread. And so that's how people
It's a nice
think
bundled off.
Yeah, it's kind of nice and bundled.
Yeah.
So what's the goal then? You said you want to blow it up. What's the target?
We're going super heavy on social right now, all platforms. So TikTok, it was funny. We initially were like, I don't know if we want to be on TikTok. It's been incredible for us.
You do want to be on
Yeah, you do want to be on TikTok. I mean, this was like 2 years ago, I think, when we initially thought about it. But we do this series where Kyle will interview car people with their car with a torque wrench. It's pretty funny. And that has been a great way to raise awareness for us.
What do you call it?
We don't actually have a name for it. It's just an interview series, but we started off with just interviewing our friends. To last summer, we interviewed Ferdy Porsche, who's the grandson and heir to the original founder of Porsche. So super cool, and we've met a ton of really interesting people that way. But again, going back to being authentic, we didn't want to get on social and be like, come here and buy here, right? We wanted people to be like, what is this? I want to be part of it, or I want to buy here. And the interviews was a way for us to do that. He was doing storytelling.
Yep.
And at the end, there'd be a call to action like, hey, if you're going to find a set of wheels, where would you go? WheelPrice.
Yeah, it's almost like don't focus on the products or services. Talk about the culture, create value, utility, and entertainment, and then the byproduct of that is going to be someone who's going to sign up.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to the shipping, I want to talk about that for a second. So again, creating all these different services. You got the index. I'll talk about AI in a moment.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, super excited about that. We still haven't really addressed the major pain points around shipping, and the way that I would like to think about it, or the way that I would say we've been successful, is where someone can just get all of the materials from us, the boxing, because you have to box them. People forget that. You got to go to like Home Depot, find what fits.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge pain. Like mostly resellers are shipping, so they know everything. They know like a 20-inch wheel will fit in a 22 by 22, 15 box. I kind of want this Amazon experience where like add to cart, send you everything, and it's WheelPrice branded. Maybe we throw in some sticker merch pack, and you just put them in. The prepaid labels already exist. We have that today, and you actually get a discount by going through our shipping carriers because we get the volume discount. Right. You print them, you just drop them off at the carrier.
So right now, you don't have the opportunity to insert merch, right?
Right now, not necessarily. One of the things that we are planning to do is when a transaction gets completed, both parties will get something.
Yeah.
Something small.
What about like
But all the resellers are throwing their stuff in their box.
Actually, they don't.
Really?
No, they're just.
I would imagine
wheels.
that they would.
They're just sending.
what are
wheels.
they throwing in the box?
Like stickers, hats, some kind of like swag, right? It's like when I get a pair off Goat, like I get a new sticker every single time, or
you love stickers.
Yeah. Stickers are cool, man.
What about have you ever thought about like trying to form a strategic partnership with like Home Depot and then just white labeling their like a point of sale, like specifically for the boxes that would house wheels?
Not specifically for with Home Depot, but we've thought about this model where you could go to a shop.
That's what I'm saying.
And then drop the wheels off at the shop. Shop will take care of it. We'd have to figure out some type of like model for the shop. 7%, not a lot of margin there. But
maybe you just start selling the story that you're bringing business to the shop, right? Because they're going to get them put on, charge them.
Exactly.
They could charge them extra, put them on.
Exactly. So we've had some conversations. We're continuing to have some conversations. It has to be the right partner. We'll probably pilot one like really key location in a major city that is easy to get to. If it's successful, then we try to replicate it.
We had talked to a like aftermarket hot tub cover company that like similar, like you buy one, like you're not going to install it yourself. So they had to kind of put together a network of really like, storefronts and resellers and maintenance, guys around the country that were their installers. So, they ship it to them. So
aftermarket hot tub covers?
Yeah. I don't
That's your next marketplace.
I'm not giving a shout out to anyone.
I heard there's niches and riches.
Anyway, but that was their
riches and niches, I should say.
That was their model, right? Because then it's like picked up another maintenance account. They got charged for the install, and then you had sort of strategic partners in every geo
absolutely.
that you needed.
It's definitely something that's on the product roadmap, and now that we have AI, I think we can get there a lot faster.
What are you doing with AI?
All right, so we're using AI in the back end, but I'll talk about what the kind of consumer consumption of AI is through our platform. We launched what we're calling AI fitment assistant, first of its kind in automotive, where basically you can speak to it just kind of like ChatGPT, freeform text, and you can talk like a car guy or car gal as well, where you could say, hey, I got, what chassis is your Defender again?
It's the 130.
130. So you called it a 130, right? Like most people probably will not know what a 130 is. The AI system can understand that. You can say E92 BMW, it'll know you're talking about an '08 M3. So that was the first kind of cool thing about that. Second is fitment of wheels specifically, and I think this is the only product category that this exists, where it's there's really like no lookup, part number lookup for the historical stuff, where you could say this is going to fit 100% on your 2008 BMW. If you're looking for like a door handle, like only one door handle can fit. But for wheels, in that example of the LMGT2 wheels, they're 5x114, which is like the bolt pattern, 5 holes, and then the size of them. That can fit on an R34, which is the original car that it came on. But what if you drive a 370Z Nissan? It can fit. So this has been kind of like one of the biggest challenges in automotive for people that modify their cars, because it's actually a science and a math problem where you have all these different technical specifications that you need to understand. The bolt pattern is the easiest piece. I'm getting a little technical here, but the bolt pattern is the easiest because that just says doesn't mount. Then you have the width, and then you have the offset. The offset's the craziest. It's basically how far or inward does it sit in the wheel well.
Okay.
And this is where it's actually an art form, like it really is, where most enthusiasts, to get that really aggressive look, like it looks like it came from the factory like that, you want the wheel to be flush with the fender. It's like perfect. Especially because the car is lowered, it changes the geometry. So you have to take that into account. It's a very complex problem. And so one of the things that we realized was like the time from when someone says, I want a set of wheels, to the time that they actually make the purchase, it's like 6 to 8 weeks if they don't know what they're looking at. Because first they got to figure out, what do I even like? Do I like black wheels? Do I like silver wheels? Do I like this look? That's the easy part. They share it with their friends. Now they need to figure out, okay, what's going to fit to achieve this look. And so we basically trained our model on a ton of data from various different sources, and plus our own expertise, like big BMW guy, now Porsche guy, same with Kyle and Kirk. And we also tapped into our network of people that are just known in the automotive community. Like shout out Paul Ehrlich, he's a wheel reseller out of North Carolina. He's like the guy to go to if you want to get a custom set of wheels built to your particular chassis. It's going to fit like a glove. You don't have to worry about rubbing. And so it's more like a suit, like rather than it's like sneakers.
It's
like
someone who had to who got the wheels they wanted, put them on, and then they had to like cut open their wheel well so that they could actually.
Really?
It looks terrible.
Well, it's like people like me. Like,
it was rubber. You couldn't even turn.
Right.
You know, it was.
It's terrible.
And I don't know, like when I look at wheels, like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about or what I'm doing. I know what I like, what I want to see on it, but I don't know.
Exactly.
So like for someone like me who's got money for the type of wheels that I want, but not the technical understanding.
Exactly. And so that 6 to 8 week window that I mentioned, I'm trying to get that down to like 6 to 8 hours, like, right? Where I like what it looks like. I know it'll fit. I get the peace of mind guarantee of that fitment. Now it just becomes a question around price, essentially.
Is that service available on the website right now?
Yeah, it's available. Right now, I think we're actually doing some maintenance on it. So if you try to go to it right now, but yeah, it's available for users. Yeah, definitely check it out. We're super excited, and it's only getting better, and it's learning more and more, especially as new chassis come out. And we're actually doing some partnerships with some of the manufacturers where they will provide us the application fitment details. And so we'll just feed it into our system because you basically had...
Is fitment, is that a word?
Fitment is a word.
Huh. You ever heard that?
I mean, no, but it doesn't not sound like a word.
No, I mean, it sounds like a word when especially in this context.
It's a word for car people for sure. Yeah, so that's how we're using it right now. One of the next steps on the roadmap for that is to have image generation associated with the specifications, because it's one thing, again, if you want like a tailored suit, if you want like a slim fit suit, you want like a
Right.
baggier fit, right? And it kind of changes with the trends. Same thing with fitment of wheels. Believe it or not, circa 2012, people wanted wide wheels. The car slammed like to the point where half the wheel well is hidden. This is like when they park up, and now it's called a slammed tuck setup.
Mm-hmm.
And
When
so
are spinners going to come back?
they're back. They're back.
The sprees?
They're back. I swear. We actually just did a post on that with Latrell Sprewell.
Did you?
Yeah, kind of like a homage post. Yeah, like think like that 90s, 80s kind of gaudy stuff. It's back. 3-spoke wheels are super hot. I don't know if you guys ever seen a set of those.
Yeah.
There's like early Japanese cars that just 3
Didn't
spokes.
Saab have like 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
On
think the
the
Ford
turbos.
Probe might have had 3 spokes.
Yes.
They look good on Saabs though.
They actually, I forget which generation, probably early 90s generation Mustangs came with tri-spokes. People are taking those wheels because they're like $300 and putting them on different cars. And it looks like an aftermarket wheel. And that whole journey and figuring out, wow, this worked, that's what gets people excited. And that's what we're tapping into. That's what we're trying to capitalize on. It's like that feeling of just finding something that's difficult and rare. You're going to a Cars and Coffee, it's like a conversation piece, and we're tapping into that.
Yeah.
So what's the major sort of roadblock or obstacle these days? If you got an influx of funding, or if you took on the investment, or what's the push you're making for platform, AI, customer, brand?
I think we got brand under control. I think we're really good at it. We're going to keep doing that. Definitely platform, making more investment into the platform. We have this saying internally, we're like, it needs to cry. Like when we're looking at a piece of creative, like it's not good enough. Like we've spent 35 hours on this one like line. That same approach, we need to go to the product and overhaul certain things. And one thing I love about the team is that we're not afraid to say something stinks. Like, hey, this is just not the quality that it needs to be, and it needs to improve. There's definitely
Is it just you, Kurt, and Kyle, by the way, on the team?
Yeah, we're the team.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's funny, we've been approached a few times like, hey, you guys hiring? They thought we have like an HR department and all this. So like, I'm flattered that you think we have like a team of like 50 people. I'm not even joking. But we have some software developers that we outsource.
Sure.
They're awesome. We actually have 2 interns for the summer. They're going to be working on a bunch of AI initiatives for us. But yeah, I think the shipping opportunity, we got to figure that out. I think that'll open a lot of levers for us because I'm pretty sure a lot of inventory is sitting because sellers are choosing to not offer shipping. So that becomes a challenge. So I think that's a huge growth lever. The payment processing, there's alternatives to Stripe, so like PayPal, and just building out some of those integrations. So yeah, a lot of more platform-driven changes. AI, we're building with AI as well on the back end. I mentioned that earlier. So we're using different tools to accelerate the development, and we can do things now that we couldn't do with a bootstrap budget and 3 guys.
Yeah.
So that's been awesome, and now we can prototype quickly. We have an awesome designer. We actually just revamped the site, so it has a nice look and feel, kind of fresh. It's actually funny, we debated a lot with the look and feel because we did not want to position ourselves as too premium. If Facebook Marketplace is like kind of down here, it's like anything goes, we wanted to kind of be in the middle. And the reason why I say that is something for everyone.
Yeah.
So if you have a set of $500 wheels from your Jeep, you can list them. As long as you have great photos and a good description, list them. Someone's going to want them. You want to list your set of rare LMGT wheels for 15 grand, you can do that as well. And that's why we wanted to be kind of neutral in the middle. Initially, we had a ton of like really high-end inventory. And so the perception became, WheelPrice is like more on the pricier side.
Right.
And I didn't want that. I mean, it's flattering, like, hey, but it feels good to
I don't own an AMG or
you don't have
Porsche
to.
or
Exactly.
whatever, right?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You can have a Honda Civic and 14-inch wheels and still make it look good. So I think that's really important for us in everything we do. Again, it's kind of like the car meet. Everyone's welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
So
So what's the 10-year plan? Are you going to, have you sold the company? Are you still three of you guys running it?
10-year plan is TBD.
What about 5 years?
5 years. So 5 years, I really want to get into the other product categories.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see what that looks like in terms of scaling up. You'll see, I'm hoping we'll see a lot more items get shipped because they're easier to ship. Like talk about steering wheels, like that's an easy thing to ship. You talk about intakes, performance, like engine modifications, like those things are kind of easier to ship. Again, for the investor, we're definitely open to it. It just has to be the right investor and partner, and someone that's going to help us make some connections. Again, the fashion world, I think a lot of parallels. We're taking a lot of lessons learned there. Go Grailed is a great one that we've taken a lot of cues.
What's Grailed?
Grailed is streetwear fashion on the secondhand market. And
I'd look funny in that. I wouldn't be able to wear it.
yeah, but there's some high end stuff there too. You have the Real. They actually have a brick and mortar on Greenwich Ave, which is kind of interesting. And you talk about timing, like why now? Re-commerce is super big as well. I don't think car people think about like, oh, I'm saving the planet or anything like that when they're trying to buy a set of used wheels. I think they're trying to catch a deal.
Yeah.
But there's also just something is having a second life and third life. I think people are really keen on that. Like they love that. Like one of the reasons why we started this company is like we talked about the interactions that you have when you pick up something like pre-WheelPrice, prior to WheelPrice, like we're doing stuff on the forums, Craigslist. I've probably bought thousands of dollars worth of stuff for different cars over the years. I've never had maybe shorter than a 30-minute interaction on the sale. We meet up. Oh, what'd you have this on? What car is this? Oh, I have this car. And we end up staying in touch. Next time I'm in the area, I'll grab a bite, go to a car show. I met so many people.
That's cool.
Just through that.
Yeah.
It's that's what keeps me going. It's like,
Right on.
Yeah.
And are you guys profitable at this point?
Yes, I would say.
Nice.
Yes. So that's good. We have not paid ourselves $1. Everything that comes in goes immediately back into the platform.
Yeah, change that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for where we want to go, it was required in order for us to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, shout out to these guys, because to work this hard for this long and, without the immediate financial gain, it takes a lot of mental resilience.
Financial resilience.
That too.
So are you guys all working other jobs as well?
No, I'm full time.
Can I ask, and you don't have to answer it, how are you supporting, entrepreneurs who aren't paying themselves or typically they've got another source of money to sustain themselves. Most of them are working other jobs. How are you able to work full time but not pay yourself? Luckily, feel free not to answer the question.
No. I'm happy to talk about it because I actually think it's not talked about enough. Prior to startup world, I was in corporate. And so it was a very different muscle, like outside looking in, like startup is so glamorous and sexy. Do all this. And don't get me wrong.
Not everyone's a unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. It's great in that sense.
I haven't made $1 billion yet. It's been almost 6 months.
But the mental stress, even in some cases, anxiety of like, hey, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Putting all my eggs in this basket, especially now, like there's this opportunity cost of, even if you are an entrepreneur, like, am I focusing on the right thing? Like AI right now is like, if you're not working on AI, are you working on the right thing? But yeah, I just made a lot of really good investments, I think, early on in my career.
Nice.
And I've been pretty lucky in that regard. But definitely, it's been a change.
Yeah.
And just adjusting to the change, and just believing in the team. So really believe in what we're building. And that's actually what gives me a lot of confidence. We've seen like copycats try to do something similar or make an attempt. One, automotive has this huge subculture. It's kind of like skateboarders. We're not going to let any outsiders in. You got to be authentic. People will know. It's a big community, but it's not that big. Like, people will know if you're not authentic. And we've seen just like someone with a lot of money or a company with a lot of money try to get and monetize this community. Doesn't really pop off. Doesn't mean it can't, but I've seen that. I think, for us, the amount of energy we spent into it's like, I would love to see someone try, because it just takes a lot of energy. It's not as easy as build it and they will come.
When you look for, we kind of are gearing up for the event, and pitch competition isn't going to retire anyone, right? But the opportunity to have some new relationships and, networking with some investors and, a little bit of cash in your pocket and a little bit of support services, what's earmarked for that? What's the hope, or, we get to August 21st, and what do you hope the outcome is? Or what are you now enabled to do?
I hope we win. That's the first thing. I think, we talked about platform a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A big part of it is being at where our customers are. It's pretty expensive to be at some of these places. We're going to be in Monterey, California. That place is like, if you have to just dream of the perfect weather, it's probably there. It's like 75 degrees and breezy. And it's the biggest automotive event maybe in the world. I don't know. It's the entire week. Let's call it Car Week. You guys should check it out after. It's insane. It's on Pebble Beach. It's the one of one is here. The one of that is there. I saw this Ferrari that was one of one. It's all red, had a little green star. Come to find out, it was commissioned for the King of Morocco by Enzo Ferrari. Like, just stuff like you'd never see. Yeah. Prototype cars that never made it. We interviewed Glickenhaus, who I think he's a movie producer. We didn't even know. He just looked like an interesting guy. He had his cool cowboy hat on. And he had this BMW that looked like it was an amphibian car, like looked like it could swim under. And come to find out, it was a prototype with BMW. It's a one of one. But anyways, we need to be at these places. It costs money, and I think we would, if we win, we would spend that money to be at these places for content creation, meeting different customers, and just continuing to kind of learn.
Car Week.
Yeah. Car Week, Monterey Car Week. We're doing something
bigger than the Catalina wine mixer.
We're doing something, I'm going to say, incredible there. That's a play on Monterey. I can't give too much details, but it's going to be super exciting.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're working with a few cool partners there, and I'm super excited. I hope we pull it off.
Right on.
Yeah, because Monterey has historically been, like, you go there with a blazer. It's like, it's that aesthetic, right? Supercars, really crazy supercars. And so how do you do something for the people? Like, something for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? People that maybe they're not going there just to see Ferraris. They still geek out of.
They're still window shopping.
Well, not even that, but you still geek out on a 92 GTI, like an old school Volkswagen. So I think we're going to do something cool for that community.
Right on.
Nice. Well, Wally, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate it, man.
Likewise. This was a lot of fun.